It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello and welcome to the NBA playoffs on 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson here with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. And folks, you can feel the fierceness, the intensity of this series setting the tone prior to Game 3. Tonight, we'll be watching the Houston Rockets playing against the Los Angeles Lakers at Staples Center. Looking at the Lakers, a dominating performance for them in Game 2, and they're looking to continue their hot streak tonight with another win. These guys have to feel pretty good splitting Games 1 and 2, now at home and somewhat in control of the series at this point. Kenny, how important is it now for them to take Game 3?
A loss negates everything that they worked for in the first two games. So they can't have that happen tonight. They have to set the tone for the rest of the series.
Whoever wins this game jumps into the driver's seat of this series. Home crowd's going to be hype. I can hear the crowd behind us now. It's about to be crazy. Got to win this game and take this lead, baby.
Just about time to start this one. We send it down to Kevin Harlan.
The Western Conference NBA playoffs, round 1 continues. The Houston Rockets have showed up hungry and determined to fight for what they believe is rightfully theirs. Will they be able to break the stalemate and come out on top against the Lakers? Round 1 of the NBA playoffs continues.
It's Game 3 of the Western Conference quarterfinals, all tied at 1-1. If the first two games mean anything, we should be in for a heck of a series. Hi, this is Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, our Hall of Fame sideline reporter David Aldridge. And a special treat here tonight. Joining us courtside is five-time NBA champion Kobe Bryant. Kobe, great to see you. Thanks for joining us.
I appreciate it, man. It's always a pleasure to stop by and help out.
We're going to have a lot of fun tonight.
I'm sure.
We'll see the Houston Rockets taking on the Los Angeles Lakers. Look at the Lakers. They managed to take one game on the road. Now the challenge to take care of business on their home court.
And, anytime you're going on the road, the first two games, realistically, you're hoping to get a split. So I'm sure they're happy with where they stand. They've stolen home court advantage. Now they need this one. They got to get greedy.
Yeah, you know what? Despite getting the split, I still have them as the underdog in this series, Greg. I mean, it's a very good team they're up against. They're just not going to lay down for them.
Here's the starting group for Houston. Randall out there with Joe Ingles. Then it's Clint Capella. Then there's Grant. And it's Harden in at the 2 spot. Now here's Harden. Pass to Grant. Picked by Randall. Just 5 to shoot. No good from Grant. Here's Hart, guarded by Harden. Hart the pass to Tatum. It's good from long range. Tatum's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. And over the course of your career, Kobe, 5 NBA championships. Are there any of those that really stand out among the 5 that you accumulated?
The last one, beating the Celtics. That was the hardest one by far to get.
Why so?
Well, we're going into Boston now with the series tied 1-1, and Boston is absolutely excited about having this split and going home now and having 3 games at home, thinking that the series was not going to come back to LA. And so that was an interesting playing flight for us, and then to go out and get the very next game, just to go down 3-2 coming back to LA, and then to finally pull out that series after being down 15 in the fourth quarter against the Celtics. I'll give you that.
And after 20 years in the NBA, Kobe, you were able to play with so many teammates. Can you make a short list of some of your favorites over the years?
Yeah. Let's see. Pau Gasol for me. Derek Fisher.
And a quality person.
Oh, yeah. I mean, just the nicest guy you'll ever meet.
Yeah, right.
And Derek Fisher, Ronny Turiaf, who's one of my all-time favorites. Lamar Odom, Shaq, obviously, Robert Horry, Rick Fox. I mean, I've been very fortunate to play with some great teams. Horace Grant, AC Green. I mean, let's go. Ron Harper. I mean, I can go on and on all day long. Brian Shaw. I was very fortunate to have some really good teammates.
I think they got to get it going. A 1-for-5 start, not what they wanted.
And that's going to be a treble. And Kobe, how did you learn to watch tape? Because there are guys now watching tape and they'll just go, and you wonder if it's really even sinking in.
Trial and error.
Yeah, right. But really, that was it.
Trial and error. You start looking at things, you start saying, man, like if I'm watching an edit on the player, and I watch one particular game, and then I look at the next game, and he's doing the same thing. And the next night, he's doing the same thing. Hold on, let me go back and watch. And then you start looking for consistent behaviors or patterns in their behavior. And then you think, okay, maybe that's something that's a tendency for him. Let me go back and check. 2 dribbles, turn. 2 dribbles, turn. 2 dribbles, turn. 2 dribbles, turn. 2 dribbles. Oh my God! Yeah,
there
that's
it is.
it.
There's the pattern.
Right. So what if I interrupt him between his first and second dribble and throw him off a rhythm? What'll happen then? Right. What if I know he's going to go 1-2, turn right shoulder? I let him go 1-2. Now I jump to his right shoulder. Now he can't turn there. What happens then? Right, you throw him off of their patterns.
Here's Davis following the basket by Julius Randle. Misses from close range.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there.
Now, here's Ingles. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. Capella kicks to Randle. Houston needs to get a shot up. And here's Harden for 3. No good there. And the Lakers going the other way now. The results in their game on Sunday left no doubt.
Away from home, you got to execute, and they did that flawlessly.
And that's what it comes down to, execution, especially when you're on the road. Can you follow your game plan? I thought they were awesome in that game.
Probably for a guy like yourself who made an incredible amount of three-point shots during your career, what is it like watching Steph Curry? Just how much has he changed the league? It was always watching the dunks of Jordan. Now we got kids that want to shoot the ball from distance.
Yeah. Shooting the ball from distance now has kind of become like a home run in baseball, right? Where it's exciting to watch the ball in flight. I think it's great because it just adds more love to the game, more things that players could do or kids can do that can't dunk. Right? It's like dunking was the thing, right? But now the kids that can dunk, there's something else that's fun. Something else that's entertaining, like shooting threes. Right? So
boy, that takes a lot of work.
Yeah, it sure does. I mean, it's a lot of repetition.
Hundreds of shots daily.
Yeah, it's a lot of repetition. I mean, Steph, you watch him out there playing and making all these shots. He's put in hours and hours and hours of hard work and continues to do so.
And Grant, no good on that one. With that three-point shooting on the rise, Kobe, if you were coming into the league right now, would you try to lean more in that direction than the incredible acrobat that you were when you were in your prime?
It depends who I was playing against. I try to build my game to be able to do all those things.
And you could. I mean, you're like one of the few guys that could do all this.
Yeah, so it just depends on who I was matching up against, which determines then how I would try to punish the defense.
I like that.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of a softer one. I was like, punish is a good one.
You're honest. Now here's Randle. Harden up top. Over Tatum. And Houston again with the bucket.
Love Harden's elusiveness. This guy's so elusive. Finds ways to get the room he needs to shoot from the mid-range just the way he wants to.
Evans up top. Ingles covering. No good on the triple.
And you could tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
Well, Kobe, something that's such a huge tool in the NBA and the team's offense is the pick and roll, the screen roll game. You've done it as well as anybody. Just how are the nuances and the attention to detail important to make that play work?
Well, it's really important, but the screen roll today is run differently than it was, say, when Utah was running it with Stockton and Malone. What you're seeing now is more of a spread floor screen roll action where it makes rotations very difficult because you have to rotate off of shooters at a distance.
Right.
So now what you tend to see more teams try to down pick and roll coverages and sending guys to one side of the floor and try to play the screen roll coverage with 2 men and try to not have 3 guys in the action where you have to rotate and now push your team behind. Right? And that it's a dance of, can you play the screen roll with just 2 guys? And on offense, can I force you to have a third guy come in and rotate? If I can do that offensively, then you're behind.
And the rebound and the follow show you what he is all about. Gritty and determined with a soft touch to match.
And the Rockets making a change here. Gordon's checked in. Sanders, no good on the free throw. And Kobe, you played for a handful of coaches during your career. When you look back on it, was there one coach you wished you could have played for but didn't have maybe a chance to play for?
Greg Popovich. That's an easy one for me. Although I did play for him in several All-Star games.
Yes, you did.
And one particular All-Star game in practice, he came up to me and said, okay, do you want me to just kind of go through like a whatever practice, or do you want me to do the real thing? I said, Pop, you got to do the real thing, because I've been dying to see what really goes on inside these Spurs practices.
Oh,
so you
my
gotta,
gosh.
You got to give us a real practice, man.
Yeah.
And he did. And Tim just kind of looked at me and was like, dude, seriously?
What are you doing?
Come on, you're killing me.
So what was a Popovich practice like for you, and how did you try to set the tone?
It was high energy, and we moved from drill to drill, and it involved a lot of passing and moving and spacing. And so all of the shooting, it wasn't any individual shooting. You know, all the individual shooting took place within a five-man offensive structure, of ball movement, of passing and cutting, and all of a sudden your shot comes here in the corner, and then you slide up to the next line, and you dribble, penetrate, and kick it, and then you slide to the next line, dribble, penetrate, kick, right? So it involved constant movement where you're constantly training and conditioning the body that you're not just going to pass and stand and be a participant, right? You're going to be involved into in the action, not going to be a passive participant.
And so it's Houston with it after the basket by the Lakers. Gordon kicks to Harden. The basket is good. That's his sixth attempt and his third make. Kobe, you've made no bones about patterning your game after Michael Jordan. You watched him while growing up. Can you give us a little insight into the impact of what he meant to you and how he formed you in some ways?
Sure. Well, I think most players growing up, at least my generation, probably watched him play and saw all of the fancy plays, the dunks, the highlights, and things of that nature. What I focused on was how he got to the moves, the timing, the fundamentals, the spacing, the rhythm. That's what I studied meticulously, and so when I watched him play, I think I watched him play a little differently than others. Having not gone to college and all these other things, growing up overseas, I had to learn the fundamentals by watching and observing the greats, and to the most minute detail.
Kobe, the league seems to be moving away from isolation basketball, sometimes called hero ball, in favor of more ball movement, more of a fluid offense. What do you make of that trend?
Well, I think it's the right thing. I mean, if you look at the way the Knicks played, for example, when they had Bradley, Busher, Phil was coming off the bench.
Well, you are a historian. You love the history of the game, don't you?
Oh, my God.
I mean, I can just tell working with you.
Yeah. Holtzman was coaching. You had Frazier out there. I mean, they moved the ball. I mean, everything was predicated on ball movement, as was the Celtics with Brett Auerbach. And then in the 80s, things changed a little bit. You start going to more isolation ball, where guys would post deep and force a double coverage to come all the way down to him, and then you start moving the ball around. Now you start seeing a spread offense, where the ball's moving again like it was when the Knicks were playing and the Celtics were playing. And so, I think it just depends on the style of defense that you're seeing and the personnel that you have. I think that determines your style of play.
Just doing the job on the backboard.
They sure are. I mean, they've done a terrific job carving out space under the basket and then pursuing the ball. It's one thing to box out, but you've got to pursue the ball if you're going to get rebounds, and they look strong here in the early going.
Here's Dinwiddie. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. Spates sets a screen. And it's Gordon penetrating. Tries yet again. And Spates gets it to go.
How about the perseverance there, the extra effort on that offensive glass?
Now here's Rivers. They need this one. Hangs in midair and converts on the double clutch layup. Kobe, a big part of the talent evaluation today is the psychological impact and that aspect, which I think will lead teams toward one prospect over another. If you were looking for personality traits in players and you were making that decision for a team, what trait would you value the most in a player?
Oh, curiosity. Without a shadow of a doubt, it's curiosity.
Why so?
Because curious people will always ask why things work or don't work.
And you were a big why asker.
You have to, because that's the only reason you win, is when you can figure out why things happen or didn't happen. Right? If you lose a game, a curious person won't point the finger. A curious person will say, well, why did we lose? Instead of just saying them. Right. They're going to go back and check the film and ask questions. Okay, why did we mess up there? Why did we blow that coverage there?
Lakers shooting their second and third free throws tonight, and he knocks down the first one. And Kobe, you look around the league and you see a lot of former players as head coaches, guys that you actually played against. Have you ever thought about coaching down the line?
Nope. No, I have not. Not for me. It's for them though, but it's not for me.
I would think that it would be tough to try to get the same result out of players you coach and not comparing it to the way you play, the way you prepared, the way you were coached.
That's what I hear. I just don't have the desire to even think about it that far. I mean, it's not something that I'm into. But that's the challenges I hear. When Bird was coaching, when Magic was coaching, I always hear that as being the challenge. But ultimately, you have to find different ways to motivate players. And, nobody's the same, right? So you just have to figure out how to get them to their highest level. But still in all, coaching is just not for me.
Here's Hart. Off target from three-point range. Rockets trail by 3. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Here's Dinwiddie. Pass to Spates. Houston moving it around. Over to the left wing. Spates sets a screen for Decker. Bazemore for 3. The rebound by Gibson.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time.
From deep, Iguodala. And it's Iguodala again missing. The Rockets shooting a lowly 30% to start this game out. The pass to Dinwiddie. The feed to Spates. That one falls coming off Dinwiddie's feet. Spates has got his second basket. The 10-footer. Here's Hart. And it would have counted had it fallen, but it's offline. So at the end of 1 quarter of play, still. And we're set to get started again for the next bit of action in this Game 3. And taking a look at in competition once again, Kobe, the thing that drives you so much, even on the practice floor, you and Jordan were so much alike in that regard. Is it important to go with your teammates and challenge them in those practices that you recall?
You have to challenge them, because if you don't, then they become conditioned to not have those challenges every day, right? So if you come off of a night where you have a back-to-back, for example, and you have a practice the next morning, it's our responsibility to step into that practice and challenge them as if it was the game that we just played the night before, right? Because if you do not, then you don't have that competitive spirit day in and day out, where then you feel like you can take games off, because you can take practices off, because you just don't have it in practice, right? So it's our job to bring that every single day so that competing just becomes a habit.
And you learn about their mental endurance, their physical endurance during those practices.
Well, yeah, you challenge them to learn about themselves, right? You challenge them to think about themselves. Can I push it a little extra? And I'm going to have to, because he's driving me like crazy, and if I don't meet that challenge, I'm going to have to hear his mouth all practice long. I'm going to have to hear his mouth on the plane. I'm going to have to hear his mouth on the bus. I'm going to have to hear his mouth in the locker room.
Yeah.
And I'd rather just compete.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. So the Lakers 5 right now. Taj Gibson is out there with Allen. And there's Iguodala. Then there's Austin Rivers. And it's Hart in at the shooting guard position. That one's in there. The Lakers' lead is cut down now to just 5 on the basket from Spates. Kobe, I'm assuming that you've had teammates come back later and say, Kobe, you made me a better player.
Yeah, well, the thing is, when we're playing together, they don't like it very much, because I'm always challenging them. But then at the end, like even to this day, we're all very close. We're all great friends, because they knew what I was trying to do was trying to push them to be the best version of themselves.
Talk, Kobe, about some of the great one-on-one scores. You might be the best ever, actually. But when you take a look at the crop now, who are some good guys in that one-on-one category that you like?
Kyrie's sensational. Yeah,
great handle. How about his handle? Like one of the best ever, man.
Yeah, but he can post too, though. I mean, that's the thing, is he can post up. He can turn left shoulder. He can turn right shoulder. He can shoot a left-hand jump hook coming across the middle. He can pull up going left. He can pull up going right. He can attack off the handle. He can attack off a triple threat. He's built the game without any weaknesses. I think most players, should be thankful that he's not 6'6".
You're right. He'd be Kobe Bryant then. You're right. He'd be Kobe Bryant. But I always thought that, when his dad played big-time college basketball, played in Australia, your dad played. There is something inherent, regardless of how much, that comes from the son of a pro player.
Growing up overseas as well.
Exactly, in Australia.
Growing up overseas as well. And look at his game being so fundamentally sound and having the basic structure. There's a lot to be said for that.
Absolutely. Well, Kobe, you look at all the former Defensive Player of the Year, and they're almost always big men. You were a 9-time first-team all-defensive selection in the NBA. Do you think guards sometimes get overlooked at the impact they have in a game and a play?
Yeah, they definitely do.
All the time, huh?
I think the bigs have a huge responsibility in protecting the rim, and those things are very easy to measure.
Right, block shots and
blocks,
exactly.
Rebounding, altering shots or defensive rebounds. For guards, it's tougher. But still in all, there's some guards out there who have done it. Michael and Gary Payton and Kawhi Leonard. I count him as a guard. They're just phenomenal defensive players.
Where does that mindset come from? That defensive mindset when you're an offensive gifted player like yourself?
Well, I think that's a truly competitive person. Some players will call themselves competitive, but you're not truly competitive if you only compete at one end of the floor. That's not what true competitive people do.
Good. Allen's got the lead up to 8 now for the Lakers.
They've settled into a nice groove offensively here in the second.
Yeah, and that field goal percentage zooming upwards is now above 50%, which is pretty strong.
Here's Gordon. That one, no good. So Los Angeles will take it the other way.
He's been an absolute non-factor. Zero factor this game. Just a horrible performance from him.
Here's Tatum. A chance to extend the lead to double digits, but it's no good. Rockets trail by 8. They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Dinwiddie dishes to Spates. And the slam dunk by Spates.
And if that doesn't get them fired up, guys, nothing will.
Greg, just what the doctor ordered, huh? Some high-flying annex to narrow the deficit.
Tell you what, fellas, that could give them the energy boost they've been looking for.
And a moment here to take a look at the scoring breakdown for the Lakers.
They've definitely had a hot hand from three-point range. Always nice to get off to a good start.
Something else they've done a good job of tonight, right from the start, is penetrating and scoring.
And Anthony Davis is checked in for Los Angeles. Evans comes in for Austin Rivers. And that one falls for Spates. And you look at the NBA today and the social media, Kobe, a lot easier for NBA players to connect with fans over that social media platform. However, it's also easier to get people in trouble. Players have got to keep that periscope up, so to say. How hard do you think that is to manage?
Well, I think now in this particular generation, the sensitivity towards things you may hear or see on social media is much different than it would have been years ago. In other words, nowadays for athletes to be on social media, it's more easily tolerable for them to say something, right? Or to be able to speak their mind.
Yes.
And I think the important thing is just the consistency in that. If you have a thought and you want to say it, say it. Right? Put it out on social media. Do whatever it is that you want to do with it. The key is just to be consistent and be who you are, not be afraid to be who you are.
So I think for players, Kobe, when they've been criticized on social media, I think they feel it's better to sleep on a reply and see if that same thought still resonates the next morning. Because a lot of in the heat of a post game, you read something, guys go off.
Yeah, they do. And at the same time, when that does happen, because it's going to happen, no matter how many times we say it, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And when it does happen, to be able to step back and say, okay, yeah, that's how I felt in the moment, and I said what I felt.
Yeah.
And here's why I felt that way. And now you're ready to move on. I mean, it's a lot like life. I mean, people say stuff all the time that they don't necessarily mean. Right?
I never felt, though, that you ever said anything that you truly did not believe in your heart.
Yeah, well, I think most people do, right? When you're having a moment, you're looking at it, you say, should I send this out on social media? Yeah, I really, really believe this. I really, really do. And then you send it, and the next morning you're like, oh, no, what did I do? What?
You had no regrets, though?
No. I mean, everything's a life lesson for me.
For all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, in this quarter, they've had the right approach, driving and drawing, initiating contact, create opportunities, get to the line.
Yeah, I like everything you said there, because when all else fails, if you can get to the stripe, that's really a good way to change the momentum in the game, because you get points and you also slow down the opponent because the game isn't going up and down as much.
Whoops, there's the 24-second shot clock violation, so they'll turn it over. Well, Kobe, more and more front offices around the NBA embracing analytics. At the same time, a lot of veteran executives who have kind of the old-time group have been somewhat critical of that approach. Which side do you take on that?
Well, I mean, I think there's use for analytics. You know, what they do is they tell you what's happening or what's happened. But you still need the keen eye to be able to understand why they happen. And that's what numbers can't tell you.
Put some meaning in back of the numbers.
Exactly, right? It's tough to understand if you see a player shooting this percentage. You know, there's the first 5 games of the season, he shot X. The last 3 games, he shot Y. And you don't understand why. The numbers will tell you that. But maybe he had something going on at home that was bothering him emotionally, right? And therefore, his focus was elsewhere. And so his shooting percentage went down. Right? The numbers don't show you that. It doesn't show you the emotion of a player.
Larry Sanders is checked in for Los Angeles. Now the Rockets with it. They're on a 12-4 run. Some say, Kobe, that the shooting guard crop in the NBA right now, a little light in terms of depth, not quite as many top 2 guards as we used to see play the game. Who do you like among some of the 2 guards you see now in the NBA?
Well, it depends who we're considering a 2 guard.
Right,
now,
because they
the
just blend,
twos,
don't they?
The threes, they all just blend.
Combo guards are playing some forward position. It's tough, isn't it?
Yeah. So, shooting guards to me are guards that have to do everything. You have to be able to play the post. You have to be able to play the perimeter. You have to be able to play the point. You have to do everything. So I'll put Russell Westbrook in that category. I'll put James Harden in that category. I'll put Kawhi Leonard in that category. There's a lot of players I'm forgetting. Even Giannis, I would say, is a 2 guard because of what he does.
Yes.
So there's a lot of talented guards out there.
Did you like the ball in your hand, bringing it up, or would you have rather someone else bring it up, then get it to you in the half court, and then do what you did?
Yeah, that's the one thing I'm jealous about Michael. Because Michael didn't have to do that. He had Pippen.
Yes, right. Who always brought it up.
Yeah, so he could focus on coming off the screens and catching and shooting. He didn't have to think about facilitating first. He could think about scoring and then passing out of double teams.
Here's Davis, and the layup falls. Davis has got 8 points.
And, got to admire the patience inside from Davis. Outstanding at staying under control, taking his time, and burying the quality shot.
Picked by Randall. Here's Ingles. And Davis sends it back. And so the ball out of bounds. Davis touched it last. Drummond's checked in for Larry Sanders. Harden against Evans. Randall with a screen for Harden. Sinks it. What range from outside. Wow. He's got 14. And Kobe, you talked about coming off screen. Some guys come off a screen and kind of just lollygag. You came off and you passed the ball and then get back at it
efficient.
again. Yeah.
Efficient.
Explode off those screens.
Angles, right?
Yes.
You got to be able to read those things. And when you're catching, you're in attack mode all the time. And then it's demoralizing to the defense.
I'm sure it is.
You're always on.
Yeah.
You're always looking. You're always checking. You're always in fear that he's going to attack. So, we always try to keep our foot in the gas.
Always.
Our foot in the throat.
Yeah. Well, you got to play against some great defenders in the NBA like Draymond Green of Golden State and others. What are some of the things that, I mentioned Draymond Green, that he does as a player that you think separates him from the rest of the defensive guys in the league?
He does his research. He does his homework.
You can tell.
Oh, yeah. You can tell. When you watch him play, he puts himself in position before the offensive player even attacks. And how does he know that? Because he's watching film. He studies. He knows the player's tendencies. And so when you mix in the research to go along with his frame and the quick hands and the foot speed, then you have a defensive player that's a force.
You got to appreciate the skill set of Evans. Tyreke Evans can play a few different spots for you, and he's got nice handles for a guy his size.
Kobe played in a big market like Los Angeles, one of the biggest in the world, but many are saying that market size matters less and less into the future of the NBA. Do you agree with that?
Well, in a certain aspect, yes, because of the digital age that we live in. I mean, the world is considerably smaller. You have access to market at the touch of a button.
So we see Milwaukee Bucks highlights with Antetokounmpo as much as we would see a Kobe Bryant highlight with Los Angeles.
Absolutely. But still, fundamentally, to play in a market like Los Angeles, Los Angeles being the entertainment capital of the world, New York being a great market as well, it's hard to top those no matter how digitally enhanced our society becomes.
And as it goes out of bounds, Houston able to keep the ball here. Grant gets a wide open look. Pulled the shot a little left, but the bounce goes his way.
And it seemed like they couldn't get anything to fall in that opening quarter, but you can just feel the momentum starting to shift.
Yeah, things are starting to look up. I mean, they're making amends for that slow start, finding a rhythm right now.
Drummond a screen. Just 5 on the clock. Here's Tatum, shoots over Grant, and he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. It goes on Jaren Grant.
Yeah, I like the aggressiveness of Jason Tatum there. He's looking for contact and doing a nice job drawing the fouls there.
And in the history of the NBA, only a handful of players have lasted 20 seasons. Kobe, you played all 20 with the Los Angeles Lakers, an NBA record for seasons with one team. What does it mean to just having worn that Laker jersey your entire career?
Well, I mean, it's a huge honor. I've always been a massive Laker fan, even when I was a kid. And so I never dreamed that I'd actually be wearing the golden armor for my NBA career. So to be sitting here right now, having played 20 years, is literally the coolest dream that could have ever happened to any kid. Happened to me.
And I don't know that it'll happen again. The way the league is structured now, money, the free agency, even though you had a chance to leave a couple times, you always chose to stay.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's loyalty is a word that you hear thrown around often. But in this day and age, it's very tough to see in sports because of the cap, because of the free agency market and so forth and so on. So I've been very, very fortunate to have a great organization and to be able to have played 20 years of my career here.
He's a steady hand at the free throw line, showing tremendous confidence in this one.
And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact.
Davis is really the total package, a mobile, sharp-shooting big guy who can score from everywhere.
And what do you guys think so far about the offensive approach for the Rockets?
I'll tell you one thing. They've cashed in on a lot of second-chance opportunities here in the first half.
They've gotten their fair share of points off turnovers so far tonight, too.
Austin Rivers, he's checked in for Tatum. Harden kicks to Randall. And it's sent back by Drummond.
Drummond mixes defensive smarts with elite physical tools, and that's what makes him a solid defender. He's going to get his hands on a few shots each and every game.
Here's Davis. Rebounded by Capella. Capella's got his 6th rebound on the night.
A good job by him on the glass here tonight. +8 in that department.
And stolen by Bazemore. Hey, Kobe, thanks so much for stopping by and having some fun with us tonight on the broadcast. Hope we can do it again real soon.
Absolutely, man. Thank you for having me.
Kobe Bryant. And Clark, you've been broadcasting for the entire span of Kobe's playing career. How is it to share a booth with someone who you've watched progress throughout their entire career?
Well, it certainly reminds me that I'm moving into that last block on the demographic charts. I'm in the early 3rd quarter, if you will, that's for sure. But it's a treat because it's wonderful to see how he grew as a player and as a man, and much, much respect for Kobe Bryant because he's a first ballot Hall of Famer and doing great things off the court, too.
Stolen by Grant. And now the fast break. Grant with the ball. There's the basket and make it a double-digit lead. Grant's got 6.
Well, I like that he shows no hesitation there.
Well, that's as easy as it gets, quite honestly. Riding solo and coasting all the way to the rack. No simpler than that.
Here's Davis. Banked in off the glass. Davis has got 8 here in the quarter.
And they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing the ball into the paint.
Grant the pass to Bazemore. Capella with a screen on Iguodala. Here's Harden, and that's going to do it. Some good defense down the stretch to end the quarter. And that does it for the first half of play. Rockets lead by 9. Live from the Staples Center, you're watching 2K Sports.
It's the 2K Sports halftime show.
It is always such a pleasure, have I told you that enough, to be on site at these postseason games. Alongside Shaq and Kenny the Jet, this is Ernie Johnson.
Ernie,
What?
I can do your voice.
Can you? All right,
You want to hear it?
Yeah, let's try it.
All right, ready?
And it's always such a pleasure to be on site at these postseason games. Alongside Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith, I'm Ernie Johnson.
Whoa, that was
spot on.
incredible.
Thank you, Ernie. I
That was
appreciate
spot
that.
That
on.
was incredible.
I've been practicing that for a while.
That is tremendous.
Thank you, sir.
That is tremendous. Taking a look at the Rockets, this could be the pivotal game in this series, and they're playing like it. They may not be running away with it just yet, but you could just sense in the first half how focused they are on grabbing that 2-1 lead. What'd you think, Shaq, about the first half we saw from the Rockets?
Well, one thing that stands out is how few turnovers they had. The offense looked in control. They were making nice passes, moving the ball, setting screens. The confidence just seemed to build, and the lead did too. They're a very steady team, keeping those turnovers down. That's the big factor.
And Kenny, let's get your thoughts on the Lakers.
Well, one problem I see is that they're too timid on the boards. When you start to fall behind in the game, you need to become more aggressive on the offensive glass and the defensive glass.
That about wraps it up. Time now for the second half of the game. We go to Kevin Harlan for the call.
And we welcome you back to our coverage of Round 1 in the NBA playoff. An exceptional performance so far from James. Lakers trail by 9. And on the floor for Mike D'Antoni starting the second half. Grant is out there with Harden. Then it's Julius Randle. Then it's Joe Ingles. And it's Capella in at the 5 spot. Iguodala dishes to Drummond. And Drummond throws it down.
Let the big dog eat. Love seeing Drummond throw it down like that. Beautiful.
And Gibson sends it back. Iguodala kicks to Drummond. From 11 feet away, and another basket for the Lakers.
And that's an owner's manual possession to get them a good look there, Kevin.
Rivers against Grant. Now the dish to Harden. Over Hart. Harden, that's good. Harden's got 23 points.
Man, I love how easily Harden fills it up. Scores in so many ways, making it look easy.
Here's the 3. Hits it from three-point range. And that's 10 points for Austin Rivers.
Up and in on every one of their first 3 shots to start the second half.
Grant the pass to Ingles. Now Capella. He dishes it to Randle. And Gibson sends it back.
And Gibson just out here to play hard defense, showing great awareness coming up there with that block.
And the Lakers making a change here. Davis is checked in. Right around a minute and a half played here in the third quarter. 6 to shoot, and Harden wide open. He shoots, and again it's the Rockets from deep.
Beautiful stroke on the three ball there. Harden is a lights-out shooter from behind the arc.
Iguodala dishes to Davis. Randall grabs the board. Randall's got 7 rebounds in the game.
This offense's first miss after 3 straight makes to start the second half.
I tell you what, he earned his money on that foul.
Yeah, if you're going to foul, then make sure that you don't give a chance for the and one.
The Rockets have shot 8 of 10 from the line. That's an even 80% free throw shooting here.
You've really got to appreciate how smart Harden is. Incredible at changing pace and gears quickly. Keeps the defense very much off balance.
It's stolen by Ingles. To the paint and stolen by Drummond. Here's Davis. The shot's good on the assist by Iguodala. Davis has got 16 points.
Boy, the unselfishness of Iguodala is really admirable. A forward with excellent vision. He has a feel for when one of his guys is open.
And here's Harden. And he has 28 points for the game. To the right side. Grant outside. 4 on the shot clock. Over Rivers. And the shot falls short this time. Lakers trail by 7. Davis kicks to Rivers. Off the mark there with the three-point shot. For Houston, they've gone 2 of 5 shooting here in the third quarter. Out of bounds, the Lakers will take possession. Houston making some changes. Spates checked in for Clint Capella. Sam Decker comes in for Randall. And Spencer Dinwiddie subbed in for Grant. Los Angeles has gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. Right side Davis. Kicks it out to Iguodala. Beyond the arc. Offensive rebound. Hart the pass to Drummond. He feeds it to Davis. Tries again. And the layup is good. He's got 18.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Yeah, I think they've got to ramp up the aggressiveness, Greg. I mean, if they don't, things are just going to get worse from here.
Harden kicks to Spates. Down low, Decker. It's hauled in by Los Angeles. Drummond's got his 3rd rebound on the night. Here's Davis. And this is his 2nd trip to the line in the game. And that one falls for Davis. Tatum, he's checked in for the Lakers. And a switch here also for Houston. Gordon's checked in. That one falls, so he hits both of them. Rockets leading by 3. Harden with it. And he has 28 points for the game. Feeds to Spates. 6 on the shot clock. Harden inside the three-point line. Another miss by Houston.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
Yep, it counts. That's now 22 points for Davis.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
They set the screen. Here's Harden, and it's sent back by Drummond. Davis down low. And it's Davis with the jam.
How about the leaping ability of Davis? Easily gets off the ground to throw it down. And he's a quick jumper and decision maker.
Gordon with a screen on Rivers. Kicks it to Gordon to end the drought. The Lakers with the rebound. This offense has really been clicking.
And they know it, guys. They're playing right now with the kind of energy that is hard to deal with.
From deep, Harden. And there's the foul. It's on Sam Dekker. That's his first foul.
And that's just all about positioning. He gets boxed out, can't fight around it, and gets the over-the-back call.
I thought maybe with a little more hustle, he might have been able to get around him, but he was just a step late.
Los Angeles making a switch here. Evans is checked in. From past the arc. And the rebound goes to the Rockets. Speights has got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Dinwiddie's shot is off. The Lakers on offense. They're on a 17-7 run. Here's Tatum. He kicks to Davis. Drummond a screen. Off the screen. And it's Davis with the jam.
And did you see the screen that was set for him? I mean, that was how he got to the hoop.
It was the classic screenplay. It won't show up in the box score, but that screen deserves an assist.
Absolutely, Kevin. I mean, that took the defender right out of the play.
So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
And it is absolutely remarkable watching Harden draw contact. So effortless, so crafty, and so consistent in putting the defense in a bind.
And the first one at the line is good. Harden hits them both. The Lakers with the ball. It's a 1-point game. And here's Evans outside, drops in the tray.
And watching Evans there knock down the triple has the ability to be a dangerous outside scorer when he's in rhythm.
Harden kicks to Dinwiddie. Outside Gordon. Speights sets a screen, lets it go from the wing. That's good on the jump shot.
And Gordon is a clever guy now. I mean, he knows where to be when the screen is set. Good job reading the defense.
Here's Evans, and he banks in the layup. Evans has got 5 points in the quarter.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Well, I agree with you. 4 of their last 5 baskets have been exactly of that variety.
Here's Speights, and the rejection by Iguodala. 2-on-1 as they jump out on the break. Here's Davis. The shot's good on the assist by Iguodala. Iguodala's got 3 assists in the game. And guys, let's get your take on the hustle stats for Los Angeles.
We've seen them make the extra effort from a defensive standpoint, closing out airspace and sending shots back.
You know, one other area they're doing well in is steals. I mean, they've knocked the ball loose a number of times and been able to track it down after the fact.
Great quarter for him at the offensive end, trying to will his team back in the game.
In the corner, Tatum with it. Passes it to Drummond. Shoots over Speights. Again, Los Angeles.
He doesn't do some of the damage that other big men do on the perimeter, but inside, Drummond's got just as much game as anybody.
Speights with a screen on Iguodala. It's Harden with the drive, and he uses the glass on the layup. Harden's got 13 points in the second half.
He has been fantastic this quarter, guys. It's just the kind of effort they need if they're going to continue to trim the lead.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Yeah, and that's 4 straight field goals now, Greg, they've allowed from point-blank range. Can't happen.
And you know, he's really been one of the few bright spots for them, trying to will this team to victory.
Iguodala, that's a two-pointer, and the Lakers tack on 2 more.
And with their hot shooting here in the second half, their field goal percentage over 50% now for the game.
Yeah, it's not a surprise then to see them out in front the way they've been efficient offensively in this half and actually throughout the entire game.
And the whistle blows, so a chance here for a 3-point play.
Yeah, these defenders just look a bit overmatched, especially inside.
And this is his first trip to the line tonight. Kent Bazemore's checked in for James Harden.
And while Iguodala might not be the star of any team he's on, he's always going to be a major contributor because he does so many things well on both ends.
Dinwiddie dishes to Spates. Kicks it out to Gordon. Over Tatum. And it's Gordon missing.
He is just really almost playing for the other team. The shooting has just been poor.
Davis laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Davis has got 30.
They're up right now because he's been dominant on offense, and man, I like seeing him catch fire like this.
Dinwiddie kicks it to Bazemore. Here's Dinwiddie, covered by Evans. Spates with a screen on Davis. Now here's Decker, guarded closely. And it comes off the front of the rim. And now here's Davis, the fast break opportunity. And it's Drummond with the jam.
And a good example there of why it's important to change ends quickly.
Vitally important. I mean, if you relax for a second, you're cooked. You're toast. They learned that lesson there.
Here's Dinwiddie, covered by Evans. Spade sets a screen for Gordon. Over Tatum. Again, the miss by Gordon.
He's not shooting a high percentage right now, and part of the reason could be that his shot quality is poor, and he's just got to be a little smarter about his shots.
Stolen by Decker.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
And stolen by Drummond. They push it up 4-on-3. And Tatum the bucket on the assist by Evans. Tatum's got 4 this quarter.
And after really leaning on that three-point shot in the first half, seeming like they're just getting away from it here in the second. More of the shots coming from the interior.
Dinwiddie kicks to Spates to end the run. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
Wow. Wow, he got whacked on that one. Shouldn't be much debate there.
Blatant contact. Straightforward call. Simple.
And the first one drops.
Wow, they've made every free throw here in the second half.
And that efficiency, Greg, as you know, so critical when you're looking to overcome a deficit. You got to be close to perfect and can't waste scoring opportunities.
A platoon swap here for the Lakers. Houston also making some changes. Clint Capella comes in for Maurice Spates. And Randall subbed in for Decker.
And they've had assists now on their last 3 baskets.
Screen by Capella. Gordon kicks it to Bazemore. Here's Dinwiddie. That one, no good. Good D by Sanders. We've got a 9-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Buries the long-range jumper. And the Lakers lead by 16.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Dime-dropping delights is what I call it.
Yeah, it's a nice pass. I will give you that one.
Yep, he was on the money, that's no doubt. Screen by Capella. 5 to shoot. Here's Dinwiddie, and he comes off the screen to bury the jump shot. Dinwiddie's got 4 points this quarter.
And working off that well-chiseled frame of his, Randall. Excellent screen.
Anthony Davis firing on all cylinders for the Los Angeles Lakers. What a quarter that saw them generate. Welcome back to the NBA playoffs as we get ready to continue with this round 1 matchup. Rockets trail by 14. We've got Allen. Green is out there with Sanders. Then there's Bellinelli, and it's Carter Williams in at the point. That's the Laker 5. Ingles passes to Grant. Randall a screen on Carter Williams. 6 to shoot. The wide open look here for Ingles. They get it back. And count it. The shot is good. He'll go to the free throw line.
Love how Capella stays alert on the offensive board, creating second chance opportunities thanks to that activity.
Los Angeles leading by 11. Up top, Carter Williams. He's covered by Grant. Carter Williams kicks to Allen. Dishes it to Sanders. Over Randall. Sanders' shot is good. And the Lakers lead by 13.
Buckets coming in bunches right now. He is just being big time.
Grant kicks to Capella. Fourth quarter of basketball. We're about a minute into it. Pass to Randall. Shot clock at 6. Here's Grant. The teardrop falls in.
He knew what he wanted to do all along. The teardrop.
It's stolen by Randall. Wide open. Rebound by Jeff Green.
A slight rebound advantage for them. One more column in their favor, and it's all adding up.
Well, you take a look at all of the stats, the team stats that is, and that's one of the many areas that they've had the advantage. And as a result, they've got a big lead.
Right side, Gordon, Capella, and the lead is down inside single digits. Capella's got 5 points now this quarter.
You know, Capella's really hard to deal with inside, especially inside. Does a nice job using his size to get that shot off.
They set the pick. Here's Carter Williams. Tries again. That shot misses. The Rockets go the other way with it. Green inside. Ingles covering. Green dishes to Sanders. Misses the layup. Rockets trail by 9. Here's Gordon. It goes straight through with the swish.
And Gordon has a fast release. Got to be up on him at all times. I mean, he's excellent shooting off the dribble.
Allen passes to Bellinelli. Outside, Green. And again, the Lakers no good.
And they had some botched coverage that turned into no coverage.
Grant kicks to Randall. Here's the floater. Grant with the bucket, getting it done inside. And now it's only a 5-point Los Angeles lead. Carter Williams dishes to Allen. Shot to end this cold run, and then Allen slams it in.
Yeah, I mean, maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that one.
And we know he's capable of those memorable ones.
Hey, they've got a nice, comfortable lead here, fellas. Might as well keep it simple. Do it a plain, simple one-hander, just like pound cake.
I would agree. Bellinelli for three. Nice ball movement here by the Lakers. Screen by Sanders. Bellinelli passes to Sanders. 6 to shoot. Three-pointer. And it's Carter Williams, that time on the assist by Allen. And it's a 10-point Laker lead.
And you can see the play calling this half. Another one from distance.
Well, they're dialed in, locked and loaded from outside the arc. It's all about the triple so far.
The Rockets make it. A switch here. Harden's checked in, and let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, guys, over that last break, I listened to Mike D'Antoni talk to his team. He told them that for now, they have to back off of the three-point line. He said, we don't have to just shoot threes. Let's get the ball in tight for some high-percentage looks inside the paint. Back to you guys.
Here's Capella, and the layup's good off the glass.
You know, he almost pulled the trigger on that possession, but recognized that there was a better option. That's what we mean by playing for your teammates.
Here's Carter Williams from outside the arc, and again it's the Lakers from deep.
And hey, we know the three-point shot is a work in progress for Carter Williams, but when he's dropping it in from there, you got to get on it.
Harden kicks to Ingles, pass to Capella. Back to Ingles. The pass to Harden. Here's Capella. Another shot, and Allen with the block. Outside, Green. No good that time, and the Rockets take it the other way. Now here's Harden. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Marco Bellinelli. That's his first foul. And Los Angeles with some changes. Drummond's checked in for Allen. Anthony Davis comes in for Sanders. And it's Iguodala in for Bellinelli. Los Angeles on D. They lead by 11. Screen by Capella. Ingles dishes to Randall. Shot clock at 5. Here's Capella. Green with the block. And it's the Lakers on the break. Iguodala's running. And Davis can't get it to go. Rockets trail by 11. Ingles kicks to Grant. Now the feed to Randall. Harden against Iguodala. Harden the pass to Capella. No good. Good D by Drummond. Here's Davis. A second chance effort. Rebounded by Capella. Capella's got 10 rebounds here tonight. So active. They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Harden dishes to Randall. On the wing, Ingles. Grant against Carter Williams. Fires the three. It's hauled in by Los Angeles. Drummond's got 6 rebounds here tonight. Iguodala kicks to Green. There's the dish to Davis. Stolen by Grant. Trying to get back on track. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. The free throw drops for Grant. And Grant drops them both. Lakers leading by 9. Now Carter Williams. He dishes it to Drummond. Shoots over Capella, and it's Drummond missing.
That's what we're talking about in terms of the activity level defensively. You got to protect the rim.
Textbook defense all around. Nice job at contesting the shot without fouling, and that's how you do it. Well done.
In the corner, Iguodala with it. Launches it. Randall grabs the board. Randall's got rebound number 12 here already in the game.
He's still looking for his first three-pointer of the second half after making just one in the first.
Iguodala feeds to Davis. To the wing right side. And Drummond kicks to Green. Iguodala the pass to Davis. Over Randall. And it's Davis missing.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's going to buy himself a ticket to the bench. If he keeps shooting it like that, he has been putrid here this quarter.
It's stolen by Carter Williams. Green dishes to Davis. It's stolen by Randall. Grant kicks to Capella, and the shot goes in. Capella's got 9 points now in just the second half.
He's definitely turned things around in this game. I mean, he was more of a background player in the first half. He's jumped center stage now.
Here's Davis. It's rebounded by Houston. Capella's got rebound number 12 here already in the game. Grant kicks to Harden. Over Iguodala. And too long on the shot. Lakers leading by 5. Davis down low. Randall on him. And here is Iguodala. Back to Davis. It's Drummond, high post. Shoots over Capella. And he can't stop this drought. Another miss. Rockets trail by 5. Harden outside. Grant outside. He feeds it to Capella. They set the pick. Clock at 6. Harden the pass to Randall. Over Davis. Randall no good.
And he's just a tough defender. Good positioning to get after that shot.
Did a good job guarding the mid-range. Extended out nicely and definitely bothered the shot.
Here's Davis, and finished off by Davis.
He's their go-to guy, and when he shoots the ball like he has today, that's what the scoreboard usually looks like.
Houston's gotten off to an 0 for 2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter. Ingles with a screen on Carter Williams. Screen by Capella. Ingles kicks to Harden over Iguodala. Harden no good. Timeout called the Lakers. They're up by 7. 1:52 left here in the fourth quarter.
And a wise move to call timeout there. They need to settle down a bit. They've been playing out of control at times here, and it shows with their turnover numbers.
And now we get the chance to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Anthony Davis.
And Kevin, it's a no-brainer. He's controlled every aspect of this game, and it's just so fun to see a player perform at a level that's just higher than anyone else out on the floor.
And Greg, to play like he has under the most intense circumstances here in the playoffs makes it all the more remarkable. And Los Angeles with some changes. Allen's checked in for Andre Drummond. Gibson comes in for Anthony Davis. And it's Rivers in for Andre Iguodala. Carter Williams dishes to Gibson. Feeds it to Rivers. Fires for 3. That shot off, and the Rockets take it the other way. To the middle, it's stolen by Green. Outside Gibson, down low. Allen's shot is off.
Oh, great effort there. That's how you defend the paint.
Exactly. Can't play it any better than that, Greg.
Harden the pass to Capella. Good. It's Harden with the assist that time. And that's 15 points for Clint Capella.
Outstanding presence of mind. Harden is constantly looking for the open shooter.
Carter Williams with it. It's Allen, top of the key. 6 to shoot. Rivers kicks to Gibson. Fouled in the act of shooting. A three-point play chance coming up.
Like that execution, Kevin. A successful possession leading to a high percentage basket.
And for Houston, they're shooting about 45% from the floor in the fourth. Randall dishes to Harden. With the floater, they get the rebound. Carter Williams against Grant. Capella with a screen on Green. Harden against Rivers. Count it. Harden's got 38 points.
Yeah, I like how crafty Harden is, boy. Terrific at bullying his way down deep. A dangerous, dangerous scorer in the post.
He hits the first one, and that makes it a 7-point lead. And so he drops them both. It's an 8-point game.
The Syracuse alum, Carter Williams, a combo guard with really outstanding court vision and excellent speed.
Now a timeout called by Houston. They trail by 8. There's 31 seconds left in the fourth. What's your take, guys?
Yeah, they got to get straight to the hoop, then a foul immediately.
Going to be hard, though, Greg. I mean, they don't have much time to work with here, but we've seen crazy stuff happen in this game.
Here's Ingles on the wing. Harden. Grant outside. Houston moving the ball around. Harden, no good. Outside, Green. Now here's Carter Williams. From deep. Misses there. And so Los Angeles takes the win, and they've edged in front in the series after an outstanding performance here in Game 3.
Kevin, it sure was. When teams split the first 2 games of a series, Game 3 means everything. They're going into Game 4 now, riding that high after this win.
It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thank you, Kevin. Mike, you seem to play with poise tonight, but also in attack mode. How do you strike that balance?
I'm just trying to push the ball up the floor, be active and get the guys going.
And you did it well tonight, Michael. Thank you for your time. Back to you, Kevin.
David, thank you as always. And that about wraps it up, folks. We hope you've enjoyed our broadcast of the NBA Western Conference quarterfinals. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA on 2K Sports. So long and good night, everyone.